Probably the most notorious dismissal of this ozone depletion came from President Reagan's Secretary of the Interior, Donald Hodel, who proposed as a protection plan that we simply wear hats and long-sleeve shirts. Fred Singer, who appeared earlier in this book, shows his face once again in an effort to fill the community with doubt. He began by recycling the old tobacco tactic called refutation by distraction, noting that there are many causes of skin cancer, including viruses, genetic predisposition, environmental carcinogens, population shifts to the Sun Belt, and changes in lifestyle. All true, but beside the point. The point was that if ozone depletion continued, it would lead to additional skin cancers, on top of those already generated by other causes. This was just one of the many tactics Fred Singer and others would use to challenge ozone depletion and the science behind it. Singer would go on to twist the words of an atmospheric chemist at the University of Chicago to make ozone depletion sound harmless. He argued that scientists asked for more research just to line their pockets, but when the scientists had unanimously decided that ozone depletion was in fact happening and a cause for concern, he claimed that they had rushed to judgment. Singer also claimed that replacing CFCs would be difficult, dangerous, and expensive, so we shouldn't even pursue them. As it turned out, non-CFC refrigerants are now available that are more energy efficient due to excellent engineering and stricter efficiency standards than the materials they replaced, and they aren't toxic, flammable, or corrosive. Our book also turns to the issue of global warming and how certain persons and agencies fought tooth and nail to paint global warming as non-existent, trivial, and in some cases even wholly beneficial. In the book, the scientists threw out the fact that global warming was solely caused by mankind. These scientists say that global warming is caused by the sun, volcanoes, and CO2. Drawing on sunspot and carbon-14 data from tree rings, they argued that the sun had entered a period of higher energy output during the 19th century, and that this solar output increase was responsible for the climate warming. The strategy wasn't to deny the fact of global warming, but to blame it on the sun. They circulated an unpublished white paper generated by Jastrow, Seitz, and Nuremberg, and published the following year entitled Global Warming, What Does the Science Tell Us? This text was issued to Office of Cabinet Affairs, the Office of Policy Development, the Council of Economic Advisors, and the Office of Management and Budget. Once reviewed by the members of the various councils, it brought a huge impact. Stanford University's Stephen Schneider lamented, Sununu, White House Chief of Staff, is holding the report up like a cross to a vampire, fending off greenhouse warming. A doubling of CO2 after the eruption of a volcano was proof to these scientists that man-made CO2 was inconsequential and should be ignored. This doubling of the CO2 was a cause of the global temperature increase of 2.8 degrees Celsius, but did not disprove man's contribution. Who was to blame? The natural causes or mankind? Many studies were performed and much data was collected. One method used for studying was fingerprinting. Fingerprinting is a tool to show the relationship between cause and effect. The fingerprinting study showed that mankind was a cause of the global warming, but this information was leaked out before it was reviewed and refined. Because the report was not quite finished, but was regarded as such, it was torn apart by opponents. When it came time to make the final revisions to the information, Saudi Arabians and Kuwaiti delegates rejected the study. These oil-rich states made common cause with American industry lobbyists to try to weaken the information. The information from this study was then refined and reviewed and published to the public, but not after it had already lost a lot of credibility. The author points out that scientists provide all kinds of data that may have significance but is not always the truth. These so-called scientists may also tell you that global warming is still in debate. But in 1992, the debate over the causes of global warming was finished. It was established unanimously by the world's scientists that the Earth and its inhabitants were in trouble.